ready to begin. So I just want to welcome everyone to our first annual SkillsUSA Induction Breakfast. I am Ms. Roselle. I'm the lead advisor for SkillsUSA. I would like to take a second and introduce you to our advisor teams. They are in the back room, so you may not see them as they stand, but I would like Mr. Rellinger, Mr. Shio, Mr. George, and Mr. Fosnaw to please stand and be recognized. There is a delay. I would also like to recognize our supporters of SkillsUSA, and they're also in the back, so there's going to be a delay again, but I would like Ms. Ackerman, Ms. Mort, Ms. Gurdon, who's not here, and Mr. Morris and Ms. Wheeler to please stand and be recognized for their support of SkillsUSA. Finally, I want to introduce you to your class reps. If the junior representatives from each program would please stand at your seats, I would appreciate it. So that would be Gwen Miracle, Kaylin Donovan, Christopher Soletti, Bryson Dick, Amanda Ace Thompson, Torius Owens, Stephen Harner, Jordan Priest, Brent Moss, and Robert Watkins. These are your representatives for your junior class, so if you ever have any questions or comments, please let them know. SkillsUSA empowers its members to become world-class workers, leaders, and responsible American citizens. SkillsUSA improves the quality of our nation's future skilled workforce through the development of framework skills that include personal, workplace, and technical skills grounded in academics. We have some exciting things planned this year in SkillsUSA. I would like to recognize one final person, that is Catherine Hooks. She was our last year SkillsUSA president. She competed last year as a junior in regional and state competitions, and as a senior she was going to compete state, but we were canceled due to COVID. So if she could come up so we could give her an alumni pen, I would appreciate it. Thanks. Finally, I would like to introduce Mr. Morris. He is our career and technical supervisor. He is new to Lima Senior, and he is going to give us a quick motivational speech. If you could please give him a warm welcome, I would appreciate it.
Hi guys, it is my pleasure to get to be your first keynote speaker of your first induction breakfast, and so this is really exciting for me because the big thing about being part of a CTSO, which is what SkillsUSA is this idea of expectation. What is the expectation that we have for all of you individuals, not just part of SkillsUSA, but also just in your lives at Lima Senior, in sporting events that you do, whether you're part of band, choir, or anything. It doesn't really matter what it is, but this idea of expectation. And the problem is that sometimes today in the world, there's not very high expectations depending on who you talk to, depending on who you're surrounding yourself with, and depending on those people in your lives that are either toxic or those people in your lives that are the ones that support you and bring you up to a place where you can succeed and where you can do great things. And the great thing about that is that you guys are now starting that process of surrounding yourselves with other people. If you look around at the other people sitting beside you or across the table from you, you are surrounding yourselves with people that are hopefully there lifting you up to succeed, that are lifting you up to get to a place where you can succeed in those things that you find value in your life, and those things that you want to excel at, and those things that you want to accomplish. And that's super important. And right now, what you're doing today is the first step at your path of getting to where you can do something great. And so I just want to congratulate all of you guys for taking the opportunity to be part of something awesome, because that's what this is. And the expectation is that you will continue to be awesome in everything that you do while you're here at Lima Senior. When you graduate and go out into the world, it doesn't matter where it is that you go, you will continue to be awesome. That is the expectation, is for you to be awesome. And I know that each and every one of you guys can live up to that expectation. So again, I appreciate you guys allowing me to come here and speak today. I thank you guys so much for that, and let's go be awesome. Thank you.
So I would like all of the inductees to please come up front. Have your masks on when you come up, please. So I'm going to introduce you to all of them in case you're not sure of them. Technical difficulties. Get it on there? So first is Grace Beck. She is a senior and she will be our president. Kiera Schroeder, she is a senior and she will be our social media reporter. And then we have Gwen Miracle, who is in place today for Taylor Talbert, who was unable to be here with us. Taylor will be our secretary. And then Kaylin Donovan is a junior and she will be our treasurer this year. Oh, and I totally forgot Ace, Amanda. I'm so sorry. She's hidden behind the girl, so I couldn't see her. And Ace is a junior, and she will be our vice president this year. So I'm going to go ahead and induct Grace in, and then Grace is going to take over and induct everyone else. So, Madam President-elect, you have been selected by your fellow SkillsUSA members to lead our organization for the coming year. As a good president, one is who can work with people and in turn get people to work with her or him for the betterment of the organization. You must be aware of the work that has to be done and provide leadership in seeing it is accomplished. It's your responsibility to see that the organization is always moving ahead. You must know how to delegate authority to fellow officers and committees. You must preside over meetings, always use proper parliamentary procedure and practices. You must be the guiding light for your fellow officers and the members in this coming year. May I remind you that the symbol for our office are the words Skills and USA. Together, these words represent the strength of our organization. In the same respect, each of your officers alone can do little, but together they can work to carry out the activities and duties of the SkillsUSA organization. So I urge you to lead your officers in working together in the strength of our SkillsUSA chapter. Please repeat after me. I, Grace, promise to fulfill the duties of my office as president to the best of my ability. I now present you with your pin of office to delegate you the president for the 2020-21 school year.
And now we're going to induct Kiara Schroeder, who is our social media reporter. So, Madame Reporter-elect, it is your obligation as reporter to compile reports of all the activities of SkillsUSA and to release them to the news media. You are in charge of all public relations carried on in SkillsUSA. May I remind you that the symbol of your office is the gear symbolic of the industrial society, which denotes the interdependence and cooperation of the individual working together with labor and management for the better of the mankind. Please repeat after me. I, Kiara, promise to fulfill the duties of my office
I promise to fulfill the duties of my office
as reporter to the best of my ability.
as a reporter of my best ability.
Kaylin's next. Kaylin? Madame Treasurer-elect, you have been elected by your fellow members to serve as treasurer of the organization. It will be your responsibility to report to the local chapters and state association as to the financial status of the organization. A knowledge of simple accounting must be mastered and records must be maintained accurately. May I remind you that the flaming torch, the symbol of office, reflects the light of knowledge which dispels the darkness of ignorance. In the light of the torch, progress will be made toward vocational goals of the individual. Repeat after me. I, Kaylin, promise to fulfill the duties of my office
Promise to fulfill the duties of my office
as treasurer to the best of my ability.
as treasurer to the best of my ability.
Here's our second treasurer. Madame, your secretary-elect, you have been honored by your fellow members with the responsibility of keeping accurate meetings. You have custody of the Constitution and bylaws and will have them available at each meeting to be used for reference. You will check and write correspondence and provide the president with an agenda for each meeting. May I remind you that the symbol of your office, the orbital circles, represents the challenge of modern technology. They signify the training needed to accept and master the challenges of new technical frontiers and the need for continuous education. Do I say Taylor or Gwen? I, Gwen, promise to fulfill the duties of my office
Promise to fulfill the duties of my office
as secretary to the best of my ability.
as secretary to the best of my ability.
And here we have your 2020-2021 secretary stand-in. All right, would you like me to sit, please? Madame Vice President-elect, you have been selected by your fellow SkillsUSA members to serve as Vice President of this year. Your duties will require you to preside at meetings and other functions in the absence of your president. As the one charged with the responsibility for the program of activities for the coming year, you must provide the spark and enthusiasm to keep skills running smoothly. May I remind you that the symbols of your office are hands. The hands represent youth and portray a search for knowledge and a desire to acquire a skill. In the process, we will develop a dignity for work and become more productive and responsible citizens. Repeat after me. I, Ace, promise to fulfill the duties of my office
Promise to fulfill the duties of my office
as Vice President to the best of my ability.
as Vice President to the best of my ability.
And here we have your 2020-2021 SkillsUSA representatives and officers. We're now going to be concluding with the closing ceremony, so we're going to... The shield represents patriotism. The shield denotes our belief in democracy, liberty, and the American way of life. That's it. The gear represents the industrial society. The gear, symbolic of the industrial society, denotes the interdependence and cooperation of the individual working with labor and management for the betterment of mankind.
The torch represents knowledge. The flaming torch reflects the light of knowledge, which dispels the darkness of ignorance. In the light of the torch, progress will be made toward the vocational goals of the individual.
The orbital circles represent technology. The circles represent the challenge of modern technology and the training needed to accept and master new technical frontiers and the need for continuous education.
The hands represent, The hands represent the individual. The hands portray a search for knowledge and our desire to acquire a skill. In the process of attaining knowledge and skill, we will develop a respect for the dignity of work and become productive and responsible citizens.
With the affixing of the golden hands, we add the final official color of SkillsUSA. The colors of the emblem represent our organization. Red and white represent the individual states and the chapters. Blue represents the common union of the states and the chapters, and gold represents the individual, the most important element of SkillsUSA.
All of the components constitute our emblem. Separately, they could be applied to many organizations, but as one unit, they represent the fundamental principles and purposes of our organization. The emblem represents SkillsUSA.
Your officers can now have a seat if you want to give them one last applause. So I want to thank everyone for making this a successful first SkillsUSA induction breakfast. I want to thank the Met for letting us have this beautiful venue. I want to thank our culinary students for helping serve our meal. And I also wanted to let you all know that all of our officers, the Kiwanis Club has offered to donate a tree to us. We are hoping that this will symbolize our growth as we continue to grow in our SkillsUSA organization. Our agriculture class and teacher has offered to help us plant this tree, and we're thinking of a name, something like the Leadership Garden, where all of our CTSOs can add things so we can watch as our chapter grows and as the organizations grow and the tree as well. So I want to thank the Kiwanis Club for donating the tree to us. And that is all I have about SkillsUSA. I want to remind everyone, as we are getting ready to be dismissed, I need you to keep your masks on. When we get on the bus, your masks have to be on. Please be polite to our bus drivers. And I will dismiss you by table, so I need everyone to stay seated until I let you know that it is your table's turn to release to the bus. Thank you for attending.